Welcome to the Mukilteo Football Show. My name is Myles. Happy Halloween! It's the Browns night. The Cleveland Browns blow out the Cincinnati Bengals on Monday Night Football. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman got the yellow jackets, I guess they're really more like pastel yellow, for the old Monday Night Football announcers booths back in the 70s, and the Howard Cosell and Don Meredith. Of course, Meredith was former Cowboys quarterback. Aikman is a former Cowboys quarterback, but yeah, it was a Browns night. Myles Garrett, just the defensive line, just dominating. Myles Garrett actually arrived at the game dressed as Vecna from Stranger Things, now streaming on Netflix. And like Vecna, who this is a season 4 thing, no spoilers, I promise, but like Vecna, Myles Garrett entered the mind. Burrow. Don't cry, Burrow. It's time for your suffering to end. Yeah. Check out my wife and I's, Kathleen and I's Stranger Things podcast at StrangerStill22. Follow us on Twitter. Anyway, it was a great night rushing the passer for Myles Garrett and the crew. 5 sacks, and really more than the 5 sacks, it was pressure on every single play. Even the touchdown to Higgins, Burrow's just getting blasted. It was relentless. And I guess if you're the Bengals, the only consolation is that this happened last year too. In the Week 9, the 2021 Bengals were just blown the hell out by the Browns, 41-16. Remember that 99-yard interception return by Denzel Ward? And the Bengals fell to 5-4 last year. Now they fall to 4-4 this year. So, I guess if you're the Bengals, you tell yourself, this is really a matchup problem. We just don't match up well with the Browns, especially without Ja'Marr Chase. That's the big headline that they talked about all game. Bill Barnwell tweeted out a great point, which is Ja'Marr Chase is the best pass rush protector that the Bengals have, because the defense has to account for Chase, Higgins, and Boyd, and they just can't devote what they can devote when Chase is not out there, and he's out with a hip injury for a month or more. The Browns just having it was a party there. It was a party in Cleveland. The Browns don't get a lot of moments to do anything fun. So, Brownie the Elf's at midfield. He's dancing, No, he's not. He's just he painted on thing. But Nick Chubb, 123 yards, 10 touchdowns now for the season, 49 touchdowns in his career. Nick Chubb, this is his 5th season. He's already up to 49 career touchdowns. Having a fantastic career. Nick Chubb is legit. And everyone was having fun. Not just Brownie the Elf, but Jacoby Brissett with that, that fake cadence. I got you 55. I got you 55. Come on and blitz. That was fun. Myles Garrett and the Browns defensive ends are doing the Thriller dance. But I'm going to bring it down a moment here for Cleveland. I'm just filled with just kind of a sadness of what could have been. This is like that roster just showing us how good it is. Myles Garrett, Nick Chubb, the free agents, Kareem Hunt, Amari Cooper having a great day. Great season so far. And just some of the good players on the offensive line. Denzel Ward wasn't in the game, but he's also good. Just so many good players. The roster flashing all over the place. And this should be the prime of a great team there in Cleveland. If they just had a quarterback, Baker Mayfield failed. Jacoby Brissett, he's trying. He's doing better than I thought he would, but he's not able to really put the team over the hump. If the Browns had just gotten a good quarterback or taken Josh Allen instead of Baker Mayfield in 2018, the Browns would surely have a Super Bowl ring right now, and they would surely be celebrating in much more than just snapping a 4-game losing streak against the Bengals. And the only dent they leave on NFL history now may be that they're 4-0 against Joe Burrow. So there's just another timeline out there, where this is so much better for Cleveland. The fans of the multiverse. There's another universe where the Browns took Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, and they've got a ring or two with this roster. Sorry to bring it down. This is Cleveland's night. It was fun. I love seeing the Cleveland Browns fans happy because they're such good fans. I mean, it's got to be the best fans of a team that has historically been bad that is out there. Maybe the Chicago Cubs would be a second sort of similar vibe. All right, let's get to the show. Mukilteo Football Show. This show is football everything. NFL history, legacy, the ups and downs of a season. Follow us at MUK_football, at MUK_football on Twitter or YouTube. Subscribe, share, review on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, wherever you get your podcasts. We have shows Monday after Monday Night Football, Thursday after Thursday Night Football, and Sunday after Sunday Night Football. And now that Week 8 is fully in the books, let's talk some winners and losers for the week that was. Reminder to check out Sunday's show. Yesterday's show, we reviewed Sunday Night Football, gave out some Sunday best awards, talked about all the players who scored 3 touchdowns yesterday, talked about a lot of other things. So go check that out. Today we're going to do winners and losers and just kind of roll through in an orderly fashion. All right, let's begin. Well, put my Homer glasses on because it's time to talk about the Seattle Seahawks, or as the referee would call them, the Seattle Mariners. I'd probably be more forgiving after I do a podcast. I know how hard it is to get the right words out sometimes, but the referee is Jerome Boger, who I'm not a fan. So it's the Seahawks. You're reffing football. The Seahawks beat the Giants, and I really feel like the Seahawks are what people thought the Giants were. We are the time bomb. We are the agents of chaos. I love this. The Seahawks, they're the team that could beat anyone at any time. Actually, not unlike the Mariners this year. All right, well, maybe apologies back to the ref there. Geno Smith looks legitimately good. I did not think this was possible. Pete Carroll didn't think this was possible, otherwise you don't put him in a competition with Drew Lock. But the rookies are playing well. The rookie class is fantastic. Kenneth Walker III is running with his head cut off like a madman. He looks just like he did when he was just beating up on Michigan in that game last year when he got like 5 touchdowns against Jim Harbaugh in Michigan, which I watched live and loved that. Kobe Bryant and Tariq Woolen in the secondary, Abe Lucas and Charles Cross in the line. The rookie class. That's what's happening out there right now. And I owe Pete Carroll an apology. It feels like every other episode I'm doing some apology, but this is the second time I've doubted a young team under Pete Carroll. I'm happy to be wrong, but I really think I need to calibrate. Pete's deal, his whole mantra works best with a young team, and they're buying in and they're having fun. This could be a fun year. I'm not saying Super Bowl for the Seahawks, but we could be like just some berserker team that knocks out the 49ers or, does the last death knell to Brady or Rodgers' career. We could be that team. And even Tyler Lockett with the shot across Russell Wilson's bow when he said after the win to go to 5-3 here, things work well when nobody cares who gets the credit. That's a shot fired at Russell Wilson from Tyler Lockett, who's a very nice guy. So, Seahawks, feeling good. All right, next winner. The Dallas Cowboys playing the Bears, who had the alternate helmets on. I kept thinking that the Cowboys are playing the Browns because they got the orange there. It was just really weird. And the Browns, of course, not playing on Monday, but they were playing the Bears, and the Cowboys dominated them, as they should. And it was game number 2 in which the Cowboys dominated a lesser NFC North opponent. Lions last week, Bears this week. But that's what you want, right? That's what you want. Sure, if you watch the actual game, there's fight from the Bears, there's fight from the Lions. That's admirable. But ultimately, the Cowboys are pulling both these games away because they're just the better team. The defense for the Cowboys, Micah Parsons continues to be a star representing that defense. Definitely another few big highlight plays for his Defensive Player of the Year candidacy, which feels inevitable. And the only thing that can stop it feels like it could be injury. And not that Parsons is hurt, but we are seeing some of the Dallas secondary get beat up. And Tony Pollard was amazing. And here's the thing I really like about the Cowboys, which is that Dak Prescott is like story number 3. He's great back in his second game. There will be a moment when the Dallas defense needs help, and Dak has the ability to patch over that. And a lot of teams don't have that patch over passing offense potential. This team is dangerous. It's amazing, because what were we thinking about at the end of week 1? Like, the Cowboys were like doomed, we thought. Cowboys-Eagles is going to be really fun for the rest of the year, and I think they play, like Christmas Eve or something like that, so I'm hoping that culminates in something huge. All right, next winner. Bill Belichick, Patriots head coach, gets win number 325. Huge accomplishment. This includes playoffs. It's just regular season playoffs, just any win. There's whispers that this is really the only reason Belichick is still going. I don't blame him. He's now 22 wins away from Don Shula. So he's got to stay maybe 2 years, maybe 3 if it's not going well. It's pretty impressive. Belichick is such a big piece of NFL history. And we should just be thankful for this time here as we watch him. He started head coaching 1991 for the Browns. He coached them basically until I think 94. Win number 1 was actually against the Patriots, a 28-0 shutout in 91. And then I was looking at all his wins, and I was going to do this whole big thing about the best wins, but we don't have time for it. But one little nugget I pulled out was that in Belichick's first season as a head coach with the Browns, 1991, his 4th win was against the legendary Pittsburgh Steelers coach Chuck Noll, who coached the Steelers from 69 to 91, who of course won those 4 Super Bowls in the 70s with the Steel Curtain and Terry Bradshaw and Lynn Swann and all that stuff. That's incredible to me. That was Chuck Noll's last year, is Bill Belichick's first year. And there's that little connection from 69 all the way to 2002. They actually played each other in 91. Pretty crazy. Of course, Tom Brady deserves a shout out here, because this is really a representation of the 18-year dynasty that Belichick and Brady had. Belichick has 76 wins without Brady, 76 of 325. So, it's a lot. A lot of it is that chunk. And the thing about Belichick, too, is this isn't even his full legacy, this 325 wins, because he was also an integral part with the Giants for all the 1980s, for the Lawrence Taylor, the Big Blue Wrecking Crew. He was defensive coordinator for 6 years there, including the 1986 and 1990 Super Bowl wins. His whole 1990 game plan to stop Jim Kelly and the Bills, this is legendary. That's what got him a head coaching job. And then, of course, he comes back and does it again as the head coach in 2001, when he inexplicably shut down the greatest show on turf, which may have been even more impressive. So Belichick, huge piece of history. Wonderful to see him finally pass up Papa Bear Hallis. He's second all-time in head coaching wins, and his arrow is pointed at Don Shula. All right, let's get to the losers. Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's not going great for them. It was. I thought, didn't we have a little moment in week 2? But now they've lost 5 in a row. It's just, you're not seeing it from Trevor Lawrence. You hope to see good games strung together, and we're not even seeing good games. This was his 25th career game. We've had stretches of parts of games. It's just not enough. And sure, Urban Meyer was not qualified, so we're giving some grace. But as we get to 30 to 35 games, it's like, where is it? Where are the Trevor Lawrence's good performances? And I think that's really important to end this season. That's probably the most important thing for Jacksonville is to see stretches of games, whole games for Trevor Lawrence. I probably won't give up on him going into year 3, but it would be nice to have something to hold on to, you know. And this game, this game was on ESPN Plus only, not even on ESPN. Jaguars, Broncos, sort of mercifully the opposite of prime time. It was probably okay that happened. Russell Wilson, just Bronco. He's got his Broncos country. Let's ride. There's another loser for his whole like doing high knees on the airplane and really talking about his teammates as if they weren't as prepared or dedicated as him. And you just know that Russell Wilson is surrounded by yes men and sycophants who are all listening to his like, I don't get jet lag and I figured all this stuff out. And, like with, oh yeah, ooh, ah, wow. Russell, man, come back to reality. If he was ever in it. It's funny. I thought I would be a Russell Wilson defender, but now that he's like removed from the Seahawks, he's annoying me greatly. Just everything he says is like, you plebeian pieces of shit aren't as positive as me. You're not as good as me. I've cured jet lag. You're just all too stupid to do it. I don't know. That's the vibe I get. Anyway, Trevor Lawrence, the Jaguars are a loser. Bonus loser, Broncos. Next loser. Oh, the Detroit Lions. It was only, 6 weeks ago where I was on this very episode. This very version of the episode is Monday Night Football, Week 2, winners and losers, where I was saying Detroit and Jacksonville have turned a corner. And they both haven't won since. They've both lost 5 in a row. The Lions, they got Barry Sanders at halftime. They're announcing they're going to build a statue for him. And they let him down with a loss. Which I guess, why change now, right? Letting Barry Sanders down with a loss. The Detroit Lions tradition. It's looking like high noon for Dan Campbell and Jamal Williams, honestly, Deputy Campbell. It's now, like Russell Wilson stuff, how it's sort of the spiel and the shtick is sort of coming off different now. The Hard Knocks stuff with Dan Campbell and Jamal Williams starting to backfire because it's like the tone is not as good when you're losing, of course, but it's also starting to come off like they're the only guys who care. They're the only people in the league. They're the protagonists who just care more, I don't know. It's a Hard Knocks backlash, I can think. I still think Dan Campbell has changed the culture. I think the next Lions coach should build on that rather than swerve away from it. And I think they should get players like Jamal Williams who also buy in, but who are good. I know Jamal Williams is scoring touchdowns, but, that loss to Miami was deceptively close. Both the defense and offense took turns looking horrible for the Detroit Lions. Hopefully, either the Lions or Jaguars can turn it around, but ain't looking good right now. All right, last loser. And then we shall go to bed. It's Sean McVay Rams. And the whole Cooper Kupp injury thing. The Rams, lifeless out of the bye, got beat by the 49ers, just absolutely thumped. And then McVay left the starters out there, down 14-31. As he actually did in the opener against the Bills, by the way. Throwing it to Cooper Kupp. Kupp got hurt. I just don't get, why is the risk-reward calculation not done here? It's just a simple calculation. Kupp cannot help win week 8. He can help win later games. Take him out. I know there's some cultural stuff there, but change the culture. It looks like Kupp has avoided major injury, but McVay a loser for that. So, all right. Well, we'll be back Thursday to preview week 9, and maybe there'll be some firework NFL trades tomorrow. I think there is potential. First, because Von Miller was a big successful trade last year that resulted in a Super Bowl trophy, so success breeds copycats. And also, the salary cap is going up so much the next few years as the $100 billion TV deal kicks in that money doesn't matter right now. All right. See you guys all Thursday, and good night.